Morning, everyone. Well, it's my good morning. I'm not sure what time you're watching this, but here we go. Today we are going to draw. I'm just gonna draw. How about we just do that? Gonna start off with a circle for the head, circle for the shoulder. Gonna give this guy. Let's give him a horn. All right, we're gonna give this guy a horn. We're going to make this horn kind of cracked and chipped and stuff like that. Maybe it got broken off. Alright. He's going to have an eye there. Going to have an underbite. Like that. Maybe a big chin. And let's give him a nose. I'm not going to give him a tooth. I was tempted to give him a tooth, but I'm not going to. And we're going to give him like a Thanos jaw. That. And I'm gonna highlight the eye so you can see he's coming around there. And should we give him ears or should we just give him kind of like a half helmet, like he's got like some kind of like technology hooked up so he can. It's like Bluetooth headset. All right, do that. Maybe draw this line right there. Boom. We go all the way across. Let's go all the way across. Boom. Yeah, that looks cooler. Alright, so then I'm gonna draw this right here. Alright, and then he'll have kind of like his collar there. So I'm gonna darken this part right here. Alright, we'll say this is Thanos' cousin, Pedro. Alright, so Pedro, I'm gonna darken the eyes around him. Gonna not give him any pupils, just gonna leave him just like that. Shoulder pads, let's just kind of like a knight. We'll go like this, maybe like a Warhammer shoulder pad. Boom, boom, and then we'll go around it like that. And I'm gonna bring it down, gonna cut it across. Now, because this is an object, not so much like it's an inorganic. So when something's organic, like a tree, the shapes can be wild. But when it's inorganic and manufactured, then the shapes have to kind of like agree, and they have to be rigid. So what I did is basically I created this lip right here just to show that's like dimensional. And I'll just maybe shade this front part in like that. And that way that lip kind of shows up more. And then I'll do the same thing right here. Staying close to that top line, just trying to follow it through. And then over here I'm going to taper it off when it goes to the other side. And that way you get that. And then let's give him a skull. A weird shaped skull. Something like that. Alright, and then we'll just do, because he's an alien, so this isn't gonna be, and maybe we'll do something like this. It's got two eyes like that. And then for the teeth we'll do something like this. Irregular teeth. And then over here we're gonna draw some more long ones. And that'll be kind of like his logo of his troop or whatnot. Alright, so we're going to shade this guy in. Lightly pushing on the pen, just so I'm just getting like a nice little grayscale going in there. Coloring it in, keep going, keep going. Gonna go between the teeth. So he's looking pretty cool so far. I'm not going to color in the eyes, because let's say if we colored this in, or should we color in the eyes? Let's just do it. Because I was thinking you could, like, if I colored this in, I could color the eyes differently, but we'll just do it just to make the most out of this monochromatic image. Monochromatic, again, being kind of one color, because we're basically just using grayscale. Alright, so boom, boom. Alright, so Pedro's coming together. Alright, gonna give him a little bit of shading around the face. And we're gonna do the same thing we did with the shoulder pad. Just make it so this looks like it's got dimension, so I'm giving it an edge. And there we go. Now, I'm gonna just try to make it look more electronic and do this number and then do this. Who knows what that is, but it looks better than nothing at all. And then over here, I'm going to add another piece like this, like this, like this, this. Boom. Cool. So that's looking cool. And we'll make a couple dots. Alright, so let's work on his head, giving it just a little bit of shading and color. Alright, and the same kind of thing we got going on in the chin, I'm going to do the same thing with the horns. Alright, and let's work on the horn. Okay, so I'm just drawing lines up, kind of like if it was a tree, just to give it a little bit more texture. And I think that's kind of cool. Alright. I'm going to outline this guy a little bit more. And there we go. We got our side profile, and I'm looking at the time. I'm going to try to have this one done in 10 minutes. So I'm going to move. Let's see what else we can do quickly. See if we can give him a hand, arm. We can do all this in 3 minutes. Alright, so he's got his bicep here. We really want the elbow here. So I'm actually going to bring the arm over here, because this is the elbow. Alright, I'm going to draw a finger. I'm going to draw his thumb. And I'm thinking we're going to give this dude a knife. So, we're going to go something like this. Actually, no, let's not do that rounded thing. We're just going to make it straight. Maybe he's just got kind of like a shark tooth or something to make his knife. So it'll be something like that. Who knows what monster this came out of, but it was definitely mean. And he's put an edge on it, and it's got a glimmer. Doesn't necessarily have to be metal. And we're gonna do this number, like maybe he's got it charged with some kind of material, so that, I don't know, let's say it's got like, it gets super hot or something, like maybe it's got some radioactive material tied into it, and so it acts more effectively than your traditional knife. Alright, so we got that going. Alright, so let's establish his knuckles, because this is getting away from me. Alright, something like that, like that, like that, like that. Boom. Boom. And alright. So, oh no, we only got 30 seconds. Where did time go? But this guy looks more like a henchman. No offense to Pedro here, but Oh, you know what? We should give him like face paint. Yeah, that looks cool. All right, I'm still gonna try to finish him up a little bit more. So it looks like we're gonna crack over 10 minutes. But let's see if we can what I can do quickly. Working on the hands, wrist. Here we go. Boom, boom. We're gonna give him a glove. And gonna shade, 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 shade. All right. I'm gonna give him a bicep. All right, and we'll give him some like elbow padding. Because when you're in battle, last thing you want to do is hit your elbow. So we're gonna make this look like. All right, boom, boom, boom. We'll give him some veins. It's kind of cool when you have bicep veins. Alright, our guy looks pretty cool. I'm kind of happy with him. I'd like to see him in a comic book, like fighting some guys. Let's see. Gonna darken all this right here. This as well. We never really get to see what his chest armor looks like, but we're gonna give just some hints that he's got something cool going on here. So just drawing some linear work on it. Cool. Alright, we're at 12 minutes. Not too bad, not too bad, folks. We are fast at drawing. So I'm gonna go in and darken these lines just to kind of outline them even better. Alright. And then that way this other stuff just kind of sits in the back. Cool. Alright, there we go. Oh, he kind of looks like a World of Warcraft character. Cool. I might actually start changing up the format in the future just so I can draw bigger. Like I'm really drawing on an 8x8 maybe. So it's really hard to kind of keep this up. Like, yeah, look at the size of my hand. So I always have to draw really small. So maybe in like the future projects I'll open it up. But let me see your World of Warcraft type character. Love to see what you guys can draw. Anyways, hope you had fun today. See you next time.